come to Sioux City, it's going to be Catherine and Nakia Day. You're going to meet the mayor and everything. So,
Wow.
Wow, that's a first.
That's an honor. Wow.
Yeah.
So, Catherine, you were the Pink
We
Ranger.
have a day, Kia.
Yes.
It's going to be a day,
Yes.
whole day, and Nakia
Yeah.
is the Yellow Ranger, right?
Yes.
Well, because I was thinking in Nakia's case, I mean, it must have been so empowering for young women, young African American women to see, somebody who kind of looked like them, because you got to be a role model, right?
Yes, absolutely. There was one the young lady that I replaced, she was also African American.
Right.
So she was the first African American Yellow Ranger, and then I took her place. But those are stories that I definitely hear at signings. Little girls and little boys, brown little kids coming and saying how much it meant for them to see me on television because it encouraged them and inspired them. And not just the brown kids, but we have so many endearing stories of people that come to our table and tell us what Power Rangers meant to them. For my own community, it meant a lot because it inspired them to seek their dreams and to know that they could overcome and they could make it. And for individuals just alike, um, the messages that we had in Power Rangers of standing up to your bullies, self-defense, dealing with insecurity, some of the themes of our show, I didn't really think about when I was on the show. I didn't think about it until after leaving the show and hearing these stories at signings on how much Power Rangers meant to them and inspired them to stand up to their bullies and to get into karate or to go after that job. Or we were also in hospital rooms quite often during surgeries for people that it really helped them to get through their surgery. So yeah, it's been a blessing.
Well, that's good to know. And Catherine, I know you studied to be a dancer, is that right?
Yeah, I was dancing from 5 years of age. I went to a performing arts high school as a dancer, but discovered my love of acting and singing and piano and all of the things that I did at that school. So it kind of took me out of dancing and more into acting. So yeah, it was a cool experience to be able to try all these different forms of creative arts.
Well, because I imagine being a dancer probably helped you as a Power Ranger because it's a physical part.
Yes, well, we had to do in my audition, I had to do a martial arts routine, which I hope that tape never surfaces. But I was a dancer, so we actually picked up choreography very easily. I was very flexible, so they kind of worked our style of martial arts around our dance abilities. And Nakia was an athlete. She actually did softball and other sport, track and all of other things. I wasn't an athlete. I was just a dancer. So they made me look way better than I was. But yes, it definitely helped with the choreography for sure.
Well, I'm sure you did well too. So,
She did.
what is it like being a Power Ranger? Well, you probably have probably have two generations of fans right now. You're probably dealing with kids who kind of grew up with you plus their kids, right?
I would say three generations because we have we have grandparents who introduced Power Rangers to their little ones because Power Rangers for a period of time was on Netflix. And so all of the seasons, and so the little ones got an opportunity um, to see us and to be introduced to us. So often we have generations coming to our table where their grandparents and they used to watch it with their kids who are now 30, and now the 30-year-olds are now introducing it to their kids. So it's very inspiring to hear too.
I mean, when you were making this, you probably had no idea that it would be around, 25 years or more longer, and still resonate with audiences.
Yeah.
Must be
Yeah,
amazing.
it's crazy. It is crazy. We didn't realize, I mean, the show was popular when we were on it, obviously, but We didn't know what kind of global impact it was having. And so it's always very humbling and overwhelming at the same time to think this, little cheesy kids show has been so important to so many people and still continues to be 30 years later. It's amazing.
And it has been an international hit. You're popular worldwide.
Yes. Yeah. I know,
So
it's
much,
crazy.
so much so that they had a special last year that Kat was a part of called Once and Always. They did a 30-year 30-year episode. It showed on Netflix, and it, was in the top 10 rating. So it shows the popularity and the nostalgia of Power Rangers, because they brought back some of the original Rangers from the original show. So yeah, it did really well.
Yeah. And they're still making toys, and I mean, people are collecting these toys. They're way better now. That some of the stuff we see is incredible. We always laugh about our original toys being like, big shouldered man look with a female face. They're much more beautiful now, the toys that they're making. So
That's good to know. Do you collect yourself? I mean, do you have dolls of your own, of yourself? I mean,
oh yeah, we both do. Nakia actually now she's like, because when we were on the show again, we didn't collect things. I mean, I have pictures and I have some stuff from it, but nothing like what these fans have. So now Nakia was like, I'm going to start collecting for my boys. And so now when we're at shows and stuff, we're always like, where did you get that? Where did you get that? trying to buy our own collections and get them signed for ourselves.
Yeah. Well, I have to say that I'm just going to throw this out here. So I also have a Barbie doll, because I was in Barbie's Life in the Dream House. So I played the role of Nikki, and I've played a lot of Barbie characters. But to have a Barbie doll sitting next to my action figure, and now I have a granddaughter, so she's going to inherit some of these things as well, because I don't have any. I had two boys. I have two boys, and so she's the first female in our family. So I have some things to carry on the legacy with. I have a little girl to carry on the legacy, which is cute.
Yeah, grandma's a superhero.
exactly. Don't look like any grandmother that I've ever seen.
Right? It's
thank
true.
Thank you.
I mean, but you've had two iconic roles. I mean, both of the Barbie franchise and in the Power Ranger franchise. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
indeed.
And you've had a pretty good career after Power Rangers too, because I know you were on part of Dixie for a while, and a few other shows and a few movies. So that's great.
It's been, it's funny, Kat and I will talk about our life after Power Rangers. And I have been very fortunate to do a lot of television shows, a lot of commercials and movies, but it always seems to come back to Power Rangers. So when we go to these signings, oftentimes some of the other shows are mentioned briefly. They'll say, "Oh, I saw you on Heart of Dixie," or "I saw you on Atypical," but Power Rangers did it, and they want to have the discussion about Power Rangers more so than any other show, which is so amazing. I'll take it.
You want to be remembered.
Yeah.
And I mean, Kat, you've been involved with a number of things too since Power Rangers as well, right?
Yeah, and again, like Nakia said, people don't really care about anything else. They and it's that just shows our fans are extremely loyal, and we don't take it for granted. We appreciate it. We started a YouTube channel together for our fans, because we wanted to have a space to kind of honor this franchise and this legacy that we've gotten to be a part of. And we just kind of were thinking it would be something fun to do together, and it's turned into this whole community. And it's really fun to give back to them, because they give so much to us, and we just wanted to do something nice to give back. But we hear all the time about what it means to be part of a community, and how people have become really good friends or have gotten married, but we're both Power Ranger fans and they share this love of this franchise. It's really neat.
Great. And you better give your YouTube channel a plug. What is it called?
Oh, Power Rangers playback.
There you go.
And we have skits, and we have interviews. We have interview like Power Rangers, but we've had other guests on there too, other stars from other shows. We do, what else do we do, Kia? Oh, game show. We have a Who Knows It Best. What else am
Live
I forgetting?
interviews.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
We play a couple of different characters.
Oh, yes, our
We-
skits.
Yes, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. We have over 100 videos. And
Wow.
actually tomorrow we have a live game show called Who Knows It Best, which is a trivia game that we're gonna play with fans and award them some prizes, whoever wins.
Yes.
So who does know it best? You know, you or the fans, or you.
Definitely the
fans.
fans. Definitely. They correct us. When we first started doing this, we started the channel in 2020, right before the world shut down, which was great because we were able to really invest in it and build it. But we always would do videos, and our fans would be like, actually, Kat, that's not the correct answer, or Nakia, that's not what that monster was called. And they're always calling us out on what we're saying wrong. So we thought, oh, we better start watching episodes and figuring this out.
Yeah, you can't, can't be taught by the fans. You have to know
I know, but we filmed so many episodes and they just all rolled together, and we didn't watch it when we were on the show. So now we've had to learn, like, this channel's been great. We've learned so much about the show, and I actually know what it's about now.
Oh, because I mentioned, you shoot these episodes so quickly. I mean,
Yes.
one after another. So you probably don't remember or you probably never knew, because-
Well, to make us feel a little bit better, we would film 3 episodes in 10 days, and they would overlap. We would be filming 3 episodes in one day. I mean, to make it realistic. So whatever was filmed in those 3 episodes in the command center, we would film in the command center. So we would just film, go change our clothes. Okay, now this is episode 302. And we're like, okay, well, what happened in this scene? So we're asking questions to production. So if we didn't watch the episode, then we wouldn't know. And oftentimes sometimes I know back then it was a little bit more difficult for me to watch myself on television. So I didn't watch a lot of the episodes. I would just film them and just pray that they worked out well.
Weird watching yourself on.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Yeah.
You feel better watching yourself nowadays. I mean, can you watch yourself?
Yeah, now I look back and I'm like, oh, so cute and so Australian. But at the time, you have your insecurities and you don't appreciate things the way you do when you have perspective looking back.
I think also we've just grown. We've become producers as well. Producing our own content, and I just finished producing my own feature film. And so we have to look at it. We have to look at the footage because we have to make sure that it looks right, and we have to make sure that it comes across the way that we want it to come across. So we're kind of forced to watch it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you come to Sioux City, you're probably going to be getting all kinds of fans, and you'll be signing autographs, and you'll be signing, you'll probably be signing items. I don't know. What's kind of the strangest thing you've ever autographed?
Go, Kat.
I've had some really interesting ones, but I was at a restaurant and the waitress asked me to sign her head, like across her forehead with a Sharpie. And I was like, that's not going to come off. And she goes, that's the point. And I was like, oh, okay. It felt so weird. Sign babies, like a baby. I was like, sign your baby. That doesn't feel right. And then often people will have us sign their bodies because they want your autograph tattooed on them.
Really?
They have, Power Ranger helmets or anything, and they want to have our autographs with it on the tattoo. So yeah, there's been some interesting requests.
Like it. Not the fan. You have to please them, I guess.
Yeah. Sometimes the tattoos, like I did have one guy who had a tattoo and it was my face. It wasn't like you know, often we see helmeted rangers and stuff, which I get, but I was like, are you sure you want my face for the rest of your life? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. Each to his own, I guess.
I know. It's like, are you gonna get married? How is your spouse gonna feel
Yes.
about that?
Right, I had
Yes.
that. You're right. Well, because I remember last year, Jason was in town. I mean, at the Red Ranger. Is that right? Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, he had a great time in Sioux City. You know, you have a lot of fans. You know, the Power Rangers have a lot
Aw,
of fans. So, you have a good time.
We're
we're
excited.
excited.
Well, like I said, it's going to be at the Cat and Nakia Day. I mean, proclaimed by the mayor. So, it should be a good time.
Aw.
But I thank you so much
That's
for
cool.
this. You know, it's well, because I get to talk with Power Rangers. How cool is that? Thank you so much.
You're very
Thank
sweet, Bruce.
you.
Thank you.